This might be one of those songs that I only get a verse and a chorus, and that's okay. 15 minutes goes really fast. Welcome to Happy Hour Sessions. I'm George, and today we're gonna do some more solo songwriting. For this episode, I'm only gonna give myself 15 minutes to write a song, and we're not gonna edit any of it. So you're gonna see the whole process, including all my mistakes. I've got the wall of cards set up behind me, and I'm gonna go pull a card that'll represent a specific song from a specific year, and I'm not gonna listen to that song. Instead, I'm going to write a song based entirely on what I know of the song title and the band itself, and that's it, no listening. With only 15 minutes to write, I don't wanna have too much information to go off of, so let's go pick a card. I want this one. The year is 2011. Okay, so we got 2011. Shuffle these up, and we're gonna cut them a couple times, and doesn't matter which one. Let's go with this one. What is it? It is the #1 song from 2011. Man, I don't even have any guesses what was the #1 song in 2011. Okay. I was just handed the magic card. The #1 song from 2011 is, Rollin' in the Deep by Adele. Okay, timer's going. Let's do it. Rollin' in the Deep. Is that the There's a Fire? Da-na-na-na-na. I think that's the one. I can't believe that was the #1 song. So Rollin' in the Deep by Adele. I love Adele's voice. I don't think that her songs are super deep, but I think they're beautiful. I think the instrumentation's usually really strong, but usually they're pretty straightforward songs. I mean, her voice is what really shines through. So it's gotta be a song that she sings, that she, let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to wrap my head around, I'm trying to hear the song in my head, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to play chords. And I think, unfortunately, I'm wondering if I have the right song in my head that. There's a fire, da-na-na-na-na. So I like that idea of starting on a minor, and I like the idea of having that palm muted thing. So we're gonna take that and and we're gonna start with the same in the same melody or in the same notes there. And so hers descends. We'll kind of play with that, like and we could do like a keep going up, maybe. Okay, so I think for the verse, I'm gonna do something in that idea of like and this could actually, now that I'm playing with the open notes, this could be like a cool bridge. So I like the idea of this kind of like the pre-chorus or something going into the chorus just being like a so we've got some idea of a verse. I like the idea of the verse is starting with this. this idea that maybe doing these twice as fast in the chorus. So like doing something in the idea of like a. Okay, so we're gonna effectively make that the chorus. And that's, we're gonna stay in that E minor. Okay, so we've got effectively notes and we've got some music for verses and choruses. And I think the bridge could just be the bridge could just be the verse with the more open notes. So I'm gonna start writing down some ideas of lyrics and just kind of see where this goes. Normally I like to start with the idea of a chorus, but in this one I wanna start with a verse because I feel like the verse is stronger and I don't know that I'm completely sold on the chorus yet. So when I think of Adele, I think of There's a Fire, starting in my heart. I think of Someone Like You. I think of like the different songs that she has out. So we're gonna start with the idea of fire. We're gonna start with this idea of fire. What happens to fire? It can extinguish. It can run free. It can get out of control. So I want to play with these ideas of what fire can do. It can be smothered. So that could be cool. If we talk about love as a fire and say something like, you fell in love with me, or you fell in love with my fire. Let's do that. You fell in love with my fire. Let's say wild and out of control. And this could represent like an early part of a relationship where we meet as kids and we're in love, and you love my ambition and my drive, but later in life maybe you think it becomes reckless. So let's say maybe you were burned, but you were burned one too many times. Burned one too many times. You fell in love with my fire, wild and out of control, but you were burned one too many times, and now you want to smother. And now I feel smothered. I'm just gonna write these lyrics down, these ideas down, and we'll figure it out. And now I feel smothered. You used to celebrate my heat, my light. Let's do light for now. Light, maybe heat. I'm gonna write them both down and I'll figure out which one I want to use later. But now I'm kept under a basket, something like that. I'm under your basket. And we have 7 minutes left. Okay. But now I'm under your basket. So let's see how this feels so far. You fell in love with my fire, wild and out of control, but you were burned too many times. Now you done that to hold. You were burned one too many times. Something hold. And find it hard to hold or something. find it too hard to hold. Used to celebrate my light, but now I'm under your basket. Blah 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 da 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 da. Basket. Mask it. Let's go with mask it. I pretended like I was happy, but I can no longer mask it. No longer mask it. So we only have about 5.5 minutes left, and this might be one of those songs that I only get a verse and a chorus, and that's okay. Like this can be one of those where that's all we get. But we're gonna try this. You fell in love with my fire, wild and out of control, but you were burned too many times, and now you find it hard to hold. You used to celebrate my light, but now I'm under your basket. I pretended I was happy, but now I can no longer mask it. I've gotta let it burn. Gotta let it burn. So dun 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 dun. So again, chorus, we're gonna elevate to that. Gotta let it burn. Gotta let me burn. We'll say gotta let it burn, because that's the first thing that kind of came to mind. Gotta let it burn. Let my fire be free. I don't want to leave this world. To leave this world regretting what could be. Not a great line. Instead of, it should be like regretting what could have been, but regretting, we're gonna say regretting what could be for now. Again, that's 3.5 minutes left, or 3:45. Like the idea is I want to get the idea of the song down. Gotta let it burn, let my fire be free. I don't wanna leave this world regretting what could be. And this might actually be one that I do the chorus once, the first time, and then repeat it the second time, and then maybe like, so. Gotta let it burn, let my fire be free. I don't wanna leave this world regretting what could be. Regretting what could be. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to do that just once, and then go back into another verse, then do the chorus twice. Probably don't have time to finish a second verse, but we're gonna try. We got 2.5 minutes. We're gonna try to finish the second verse, and then we're gonna play the structure, because the structure in my head right now is gonna be verse, one chorus, verse, double chorus, bridge, and then 4 choruses out. So it's something, let's talk about, I like the idea of saying like it's not easy to judge someone until you walk in their shoes, but the fire might singe you. You can't, whatever we're saying, we can't judge another's fire. I'm going to use the word fire again, but it could be their choices or whatever. Can't judge another's fire until you've walked. I want to say walked in their shoes, but I want more than that. But an hour and 40 or minute 45, we don't have that. So, walked in their shoes. Sometimes, I like this idea. Sometimes, what you think you realize they didn't choose. Like something like sometimes you realize the choices they made. The choices they made, they didn't really choose. So this idea of like, sometimes you realize like they, you know, it was the demons inside them, it was their upbringing, it was whatever, like they didn't have this free will or free choice to do this thing. And then again, because we have 56 seconds left, I'm gonna go back to, I think I'm just gonna repeat the first verse, the second half of the first verse where you used to celebrate my light and now I'm under your basket. I'm just gonna repeat that again. I would actually like to have a different line here and maybe even like a longer verse. But again, for the spirit of 15 minutes, we're just gonna repeat that. And that's just another also songwriting tip that you can use. Like sometimes you can, you know, repeat parts of songs. So taking the first half of the first verse, this, you know, now I'm used to celebrate my light, like beating that into their heads and repeating it, sometimes that's more powerful. And then, so we'll do that again. We'll repeat the chorus twice. And I might ad-lib or something and change lyrics a little bit. And then I think I'll just repeat the first verse with open chords, and then try to play the chorus 2 or 4 times on the way out. And that's it. 15 minutes goes really fast. When I look at, you know, 15 minutes ago, this didn't exist. There are times where you start looking at the clock and you're like, oh man, I just should quit. It's like, I got 7 minutes left. I'm never gonna get this thing done. And you just keep going. Because really at the end of the day, you know, whether it's that there's 7 minutes left or whether there's 2 hours left or whatever, like you sometimes just become your own worst enemy and think you can't do it. And when you plow through and you're like, wow, okay, 15 minutes, that wasn't that bad. I'm pretty proud of that. So we're gonna play it and see what happens. So I'm about to perform this song, but I just wanna be transparent. I spent a couple minutes off camera just making sure it flowed a little bit better and kind of rehearsing it so I didn't fumble my way completely through it. I'm gonna try to give it to you guys in one take. We'll see what happens. You fell in love with my fire, wild and out of control. But you were burned too many times, and now you can't keep hold. Used to celebrate my light, now I'm under your basket. I pretend like I'm happy, but I can no longer mask it. Gotta let it burn, let my fire be free. I don't wanna leave this world regretting what could be. Can't judge another's fire until you've walked in their shoes. Sometimes you realize the choices that they made, they didn't choose. Gotta let it burn, let my fire be free. I don't wanna leave this world regretting what could be. Gotta let it burn, let my fire be free. I don't wanna leave this world regretting what could be? What could be? You fell in love with my fire, wild and out of control. But you were burned too many times, and now you can't hold it. Gotta let it burn. Oh, let my fire be free. I don't wanna leave this world regretting what might be. Gotta let it burn, let my fire be free. I don't wanna leave this world regretting what might be. So that's it, we got through it. It's not perfect. I'd love to kind of go back and play with some of the lyrics and some of the timing, but the bones are there. That does it for this episode of Happy Hour Sessions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment below, leave a songwriting tip. We'll use it in the next one. Thank you so much, guys. See you next time.